Hello and good morning. It is Ray Eason with the Ancient Tree of Life channel. It is December 31st, 2019 at 8:22 in the morning. Happy New Year's. Today I want to talk about Tuesday, the energy of Mars, the ancient Sumerian and Babylonian goddess Erishkigal, and Inanna, Ishtar, Aset, and Isis. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and click the link below to access my YouTube channel. It has this video in its entirety instead of the 55-second clip, and it has my other videos in their full-length entirety as well. That way you get the full lessons and the messages and the stories behind these videos. So Tuesday, if you've been following me for any period of time, is a day that I like to dedicate towards talking about the energy of Mars, the Martian energy, if you will, which is also the energy of Erishkigal, which is the lady or the goddess or lord of the Underworld, right? Which represents a sort of more distant and also at times fiery energy. On Tuesdays, you may feel that you have a little bit more of a feeling of passion inside of you, maybe even anger or upset, right? And I want to talk about that energy in addition to the pairing energy or the counterpart energy that comes along with this, which if Erishkigal was the lady of the lower levels, then her sister Inanna, or Inanna Ishtar in Babylon, or Aset in Kemet, or Isis in Greece, would have been the goddess or the mother of heaven, right? So you've got one lower and you've got one above, which means the lower and the higher, right? So I was talking to a fellow pathworker about this yesterday, and I want to talk about how the lower energy is there because it's a part of you, right? It's that more denser energy, which vibrates on a slower level, which also gives us these feelings of fear, anger, just that very those other emotions, those negative emotions that come along with living and experiencing. And they're an integral part of us. Why? Because they allow us, for one, we are a byproduct of our environment at a state of origin, and then we resonate in order to balance the low, to reach for the higher, and resonate the two together in order to form our individuality, right? So today would be a day where if you were feeling a little bit more passionate or fiery, remembering to reach up to those higher vibrational levels in order to bring you out of those lower depths is something that we work on. So when we work with energy and when we work with these cultural frameworks, we have to learn about duality and pairing and those particular energies. This is why all the gods and goddesses had a female and a male partner or counterpart to them. It was either their brother and their sister, like Mars and Venus, right? Which would have been, in the old days, it would have been probably Erishkigal in Sumer and Inanna in Sumer. And then in Babylon, you would have had Erishkigal, and then you would have had Inanna Ishtar. And then in Kemet, or in Egypt, you would have had Aset, and also her brother Set, her wicked brother Set, which was also the other more fiery aspect of her, because Set represented the red desert where the sun was a bit more and the fiery hot zone, right? So we have this pairing and we have these counterparts, and it's very important to remember that even though you may have the feeling of the lesser or the lower vibrations, that you are not necessarily a bad person, but that you are going through an experience and you maybe need to raise your vibration to a higher level, right? So a lot of the information we will be going over in the coming year will be about these 7 frameworks or these 7 foundations or pillars that help us to get on our legs, our esoteric legs, right? And how we can work with these energies when you feel subtly this energy come on, or a particular energy come on, how you can use its partner energy in order to offset or blend it, because everything that we talk about and work with is about blending together of the left and the right, right? It's all about the taking this external taking this other external, or you yourself, and then blending it together in order to have a new you, a new experience. The card that I love that resonates with this theme is the Art card in the Aleister Crowley Book of Thoth Tarot deck. And it's called the Art card because it represents the art of alchemy, or the art of soul alchemy, which is about taking your soul at its base state and changing it, right? Changing it and making it something different. And this is where all the controversy throughout all the ages has come from about the particular type of work that we do, is that we have learned how to take the soul, how to take the spirit and the self, and how to change it, how to give it a different vibration, how to blend it with the upper. And those that do not understand this information, those that don't understand the cultural framework, those that don't want to, will always prejudge. They will always be unbiased. I get biased and unbiased mixed up sometimes, sorry you guys. But they will always prejudge or have some contradiction to your ability to do this. And why? This all goes back to the haves and the have-nots. If you are rich and someone else is poor, they will not like you. Not everybody, but some people will not like you simply because you disturb their state of being. If someone is super intelligent or smart and you are not, or this other person is not, they're gonna have some sort of prejudice against you because you have something that they don't, and maybe they can't do it. But all they'd have to realize is all they'd have to do is ask, and then learn and bring their vibration up to what their spirit level or their vibrational level is supposed to be at. So this is the meat and potatoes behind why this was such a great art and such a great science, and why it was turned into this thing that we now have in the modern day religions, which are the antithesis of that information, because they, the outsiders, don't want you to be able to change when you need to. Perfect example, when the world is taking over the world and you are in that world and you need to rise up in order to contend, combat, or fight for freedom, that is when this information was used in order to contend with the evils that were happening in the world. And that's really why this information was so blasphemed, and why it has such a negative connotation to the outsiders. But we're bringing the light in on it, and we'll talk more about this in the future. Once again, thanks for watching, you guys. My name is Ray Eason with the Ancient Tree of Life channel. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment below, and we'll talk to you later. Have a happy new year. Bye-bye.